Hi again. This is the version 2 of the video, and I will just follow whatever I was going through. The title is just USA Math Hardcore Illuminati Study, but honestly, this is not politics. This is not a title that, I want you guys to just, it's politics. No, it's not politics. It is something that I don't see any other name or any other thing that I can, every day I'm saying, no, it's not politics, no, it's not Illuminati, but oh my gosh, every day I'm just watching new things and it comes here. So you see all these things, but again, we're gonna go some review. We're gonna choose the black color and then we're gonna erase this. And again, I'm gonna check, yes, I'm here, just in case. There you go, I'm here, and then we are going to enjoy the discussion that we were through, and we're going to go through some summary. Okay, the video title is USA Math Hardcore Illuminati Study. And it's a title. It's hardcore. It is hardcore because any moment I'm channeling something that is just relevant to that thing, it's relevant to my life, but it channels there, I mean, it's the movie that you watch, it's the kind of, it's an adventure movie. Adventuristic movie. And let's go with adventure. So, because when I'm saying I'm genius, oh my gosh, am I? Different channels, genius 0 to my life, whatever is going to be. But from now, this is 0 to X, but we are starting 0 to, so far, 36. 37 on 2017. And, because it's a little bit, the type of the geniusness that I'm telling, it has some, some supernatural thing as well. Natural and supernatural. But the other thing is supernatural comes from natural. The tree of knowledge. You have this apple company, right? Oh, what happened to this apple? The bite. Oh, just a moment. The bite. Oh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's the bit and that's the bite. Oh, the knowledge. And the knowledge is kind of natural thing, and from natural thing you get the supernatural thing. So what kind of geniusness is that? I'm not telling that, I'm gonna right now come out of the screen and talk to you. But why you're thinking about all this natural, unnatural thing can happen in a supernatural world that it's part of our natural thing. So my point is the level of the geniusness that I had from these, it was a different layer. When I'm just talking about math, then it's a chess as a logical game, and then it's the, coding. I mean, I do have always this aspect of, logical taking of things, that when you mix them, it becomes system engine. here I named it right now because I called you it was Tehran Dama, my dad's company, right? You know, the other thing, I am not, whatever you see, it comes from me. I am the source. I mean, it's just nothing that you can say, yeah, he's a kind of, I mean, I'm showing the pictures. I'm from here, so I'm not a clone. I am not something that, like, you know, Kardashian family. Because you think, you know, when Bruce Jenner changed to Kathleen Jenner, you know, a male person changed to female, this is just happening an accident. Of course, it involves a little bit natural and supernatural. In a natural world, when you are in Freemasonry, you you get your power from Lucifer. So you gain some supernatural things that it's, you don't require the hardcore, you know, natural elements, but then Satan's help you to complete the complete satanic world that is real. That is real. So how am I gonna get from there to there and to there and there? I'm telling you, all this layer of the factor of the geniusness was into what in your math, you know, you just, you know, the things that I always, you know, you have x plus 2 is equal 4, so x is equal 2, right? I mean, if you differential this two part is gonna be 1, I mean, differentiation of this is 0, so you're not getting anything. Means, what is this differentiation of this? It means, I mean, I'm just telling you the natural way. Of course, there is a line that, I mean, differentiation d of x or d of x over d of x, it's d of 2 over d of x. So d of x over e of x, it's x prime is equal 0. Of course, when it is x is 2, means 1, 2, and you draw the line here, so you see the angle, actually it should not be 2, because when you differential d of x, this is 0. Angle must be 9. Yeah, I mean, when it is x prime is 0, means 90, because this is the slope of, you know, tangent of, because when it comes to tangent, right, this is a kind of a tangent line and cotangent line. So at this point, when you just go up, it is 0 because it becomes 90 because this is a tangent of alpha. Tangent of alpha is 0, is 90, you know? Then it comes to chess, then I created, you know, of course I need to go with my memory, but then I created this, my attack, that first I open with the, you know, first I open with queen pawn opening, then after queen pawn opening my bishop goes there, then I bring the knight here, then I attack the, you know, I have different, you know, type of, you know, kind of methods, and of course I will pattern all this attack based on my opponent, you know, kind of layer. And when it comes to coding, you know, I love to just see less, you know, lines of code. And then, you know, I already explained you have a library. Of course, so far the whole generation of codes are based on the you know, frameworks or those libraries that you just put the library kind of name there and implement into your code, and then you have some at the end you have those functions and parameters that you pass into your main line of code. So, you know, I learned it on high school, but then I will get there when I got affected by coding. Then what the chess, I started, my family a little bit taught me, but the chess started after 2013. So I would say when I was 22 to 23, 32 to 33 years old. And it's amazing. So when it comes to, you know, I would level My speech, whatever you are listening, it's over almost 220, 220. There must be some flaws in my speech, but the patterns, the timer, let's open the timer for temperature. Yeah, the IQ, whatever you see is it's almost two over, because I need to prove, I need you to that talk to me, always have some mentality line that goes with a real life situation. This is over to 200 IQ. It's more than this, because whatever it's almost gonna blow your mind if you just, how can one person think three simultaneously, three type of thing, then create a system engine. Then this system engine, when it goes to politics, has a different color. When it comes to politics, has a different thing. When it comes to depend on the engine, the system that you want to put the engine on it. Depend on the, you have engine, car engine. You have transportation. You have civil, because I told you, when I'm 28, 29, 30, my brother let me to go in Iran insurance, right? But guess what? I was involved before this. That area that it was in university. Then I went to Mujtama Fani Tehran a little bit. Then I had some experiment here. What happens in Iran? I was the only person. I was a couple of only person in Iran who knows in civil, and it was on land surveying, and it was in AutoCAD land, that you had points, right? You just triangle these points, because eventually you need to triangle them. These points, maybe this one, you need 3 points. I mean, this one here, then you cover that point. You have some data, you have boundaries, you have, it gives you some train of the, I mean, of course, this elevation you have, then you use them, because for train you use this triangle system, then you use for this type of thing for elevation, and you just go from elevation to, this was in partial differential equation. It's really important to use the partial differential equation to go through analytic of, this type of elevation, and find the equation of these layers that, they have this, beautiful patterns, at the end, you have this whole beautiful curve here that has these different elements, and this is the surface, and you can shape it as a, as a 2D, but it's 3D, and you're using differential equation to just find a maximum. Of course, it's a beautiful pattern that you take. Okay, I said several lands. Of course, the way that in computer you implement differential equation, it has different method. I think it's much more use series, kind of platform, that I think series goes in some way. You use, Boolean kind of math to code them as a circuit, to implement that equation and bring the output as, in your calculator or in your monitor or computer. So as you see the following things, it happens on 28, when I was in 28 years old. I went to the university, then I learned about, I was working in total stations, because in land surveying you have these cameras, of course, for leveling and for pointing, and recently they use GPS. There is something like that gets the pin and gets the point, data, and then you can mix them together. The the camera, the GPS kind of detection, and computer to gather all the data and organize them and use them to engineer the, land surveying part of the civil project. But what is my point? Here I got intrigued because the system engine idea doesn't come like that. You just get involved in a different things, and then the thing is, between 28, 29, and 30, so I had that experiment in land surveying, but then I went to a class, Microsoft Technology Specialist. Microsoft Technology Specialist was based on fundamentals of object-oriented languages. Then you have network framework that uses the libraries that you have O languages, but then you use the, I would sort them to, Apple and then Microsoft. I would say Microsoft uses CQL, and Apple, for database, it uses Oracle. In general, Then CQL, usually works with C++, Oracle works with Java. In general, I'm not going to detail. Java works with the Java virtual machine. Microsoft uses the .NET framework as a platform. Then you have, of course, I was not into, Apple. I was not into so you go to Apple, but when you're Microsoft, you learn the fundamentals, then you learn a lot from framework, then you learn the SQL. After you learn SQL, there is two options: Windows and ASP.NET for online applications. So I finished 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So far, if you want to track the way that along the way, of course, the USA math, it's just not, I was always USA math. USA math, maybe I established it at 2014, but the way that it gets almost from 0 when to 2014, I was in almost 33, 34. Then from 34 to 37, right now you see I'm defining as a USA math system engine. But before that, the way that I was approaching was just these engines that I was feeling there is something, So I'm gonna go before that, the degrees that I've got. So from the, my dad was taking me to data centers. So I saw punch cards. I hope I'm gonna write the punch cards. There was cards that was full of dots, and you just feed them to the machine, and then the output was the result based on punch card. But then the way that I'm just telling you, I was before that, from 0. My dad was taking me to the data center, so I was going to those schools. This is kind of school patterns. Of course, in elementary, you have junior high school. Of course, in all these platforms that I was taking, I had some family issues. Here, the family issues was so hard. I started these family issues, horrible family issues, that I was just carrying almost through it, but it doesn't let me to just, I was not that personality, was just, getting affected, because when you have over 2 IQ, anything happens, and supernatural things. It seems that I'm creeping, but it happens, man. When I'm talking supernatural, it's a, I will not, I want to call it Christianity, but then, I don't know in which language I can just talk to my audiences. So far, I'm telling supernatural, but I will define every element. I am telling it comes from Bible, it comes from Christianity, but you can name it supernatural. Jeez. So, My dad was taking me to data centers and I was learning them. And little by little, of course, you have the main, you have those tapes that tape was that. Then after tape was the mainframe kind of thing. You know, it was a main machine. Then at the end, I mean, we are coming up. Oh, wait a minute. The 2014 was not. It's before that main. I mean, the punch card, then tapes, then machines. Here, I would say racks. You have you know, these racks involving all the racks, you know, all these boxes of racks goes along, you know, if you see the data center of Google, there are racks, and the racks involving a RAM and a processor. I mean, you inject the data, travels through, of course, programmer's code. You just gather the data, huge amount of data that passes through server. You serve for whole country, you know, you serve for a whole country, but this is kind of artificial intelligence platform that I can just bring it out as an engine. But as I told you, when I was working in civil, so you have AutoCAD engine. That AutoCAD engine belongs to civil engineering, and civil engineering, you know, goes back to, you know, civil engineering is a mother kind of engineering. There is no any other before that mother engineering, civil engineering. So the way that I improved, you know, okay, what happened in civil engineering, I learned about AutoCAD, then I learned about MSTS. But, you know, the other thing is my brother actually was not letting me to just go through, you know, because all this knowledge that I'm talking, I was including mechanical engineering. I was into in some way marketing a little bit. I read about I've been into political activities, but I learned about I was trying to do a little bit politics, but when you live in a country like Iran that is majority is Muslim, you're not feeling to be politically involved. Of course, the Freemason part of Armenian, they're involved. So when it comes to mechanical engineering, is precision air conditioning. Precision air conditioning that involve gas, liquid, and solid. What is this solid? You know, because we have, I think we have the fourth element, plasma. I think it's the fourth element, but so far mechanical engineering that I think this is going to be space. I've never been involved in a space kind of project, so I'll go with the solids of the engines that transfer gas to liquid, liquid to gas, and these two, the cycle of these two brings the cold and heat to the system. Of course, you have humidity, so you have a little bit humidity involved for data centers. So when it comes to mechanical engineering, you need to calculate the BTU of, you know, the capacity of air in that room. So, you know, as you see, I have some mechanical engineering pattern. I have a little bit work in, you know, I know how can one person be involved in all this? It's me, Zarek, and enjoy it and listen to me in any field, because when I'm talking about, again, system engine, it involves all the engines, and I'm the only person who can really explain and connect the dots. How mechanical engineers at the end going to be connected to the politic? Yes, because at the end we are talking about the system engine. And when we talk about the system engine, the goal is a complete system engine. What is going to be complete system engine? Da-da! That is my point, my love. That is my point. Complete knowledge that makes you immortal. And when you become immortal with a complete knowledge based on a complete system, that's the goal of living. Humanity's goal. This is the humanity's goal. So I'm going back to system engine. I'm going back to system engine, and I need to go back. When I'm just going back to system engine, then I'm gonna go with my ages, and then how the pattern of things happens again, because it's like Bible, 26, 29, 30. So what I had, the knowledge, I had MSTS, but I had before that, I had AutoCAD Land, that right now is Civil 3D. When you have this, you're traveling from Civil 3D to MSTS, and I watched the Microsoft recent YouTube. MSTS is just not about the civil points. These points are not civil. These data are not based on hardcore civil land. This data could be people. Could be attitude. When it comes to people, it could be attitude of people. Because from what I'm gonna channel this Tavistock Institute. Tavistock Institute. I am the hacker, man. I mean, what type of hacker? When you talk hack, I mean, because one of the things is in USA math is gonna happen. Hacking. I'm hacking these companies or this institution and showing them what they are doing. I mean, I'm not gonna hack to your social security. I'm not gonna steal one people. What is my point to focus one person, hacking one person, or company of persons, that at the end, what is the result? I'm not gonna hack. The way that I hack is right now demonstrating, but if it comes to one by one personal hacking or the institution hacking, again, based on system engine, the other thing, AI is a different family, because you are talking about intellectuality. Intel, right? Intellectuality. But intellectuality is one aspect, because right now the control system needs intellectuality to control the brain. Brain has two parts. They want to control the left and the right. They want to clone the left and the right of your brain. How? With the Facebook project. That connects the wires to your brain, and then the wires, and then you have control over intellectuality. Because before this era was economy control. I mean, when you have Albert Pike, I mean, it's getting a little bit, I need to check how many minutes. Oh my goodness. Good, I'm not gonna end this up fast too. Okay, a little bit, I'll go 40 minutes. When Albert Pike generated World War I, World War II, I need to go faster, World War III, when he generated this thing, World War I, World War II was economic. They need economic. Right now, they messed with economic. They need AI. But dude, what I did, I invented anti-AI. Anti-AI, AI cannot work. You need to add anti-AI. That's going to be a real, system, SE, AI or AI OS. AI needs to run to some system. Without anti-AI, the AI will not be optimized. My point is, the system engine, I mean, of course, it's a political engine. You know, the other thing, these people, these people, you know, psychopathic, psy, psychopathic, I think it's PH. His man, I don't know. Right now I'm so a little bit getting tired. He's psychopathic. I think I'm right. You know, you need to study psychopaths. Psychopaths might use natural and supernatural thing. I think when it reaches to complete psychopath, you're almost in a realm of supernatural satanic level. That you need to know satanic, so you need to know Bible to be protected about this satanic powers that from natural things turns to supernatural, and because it's kind of psychopathic, so it's because you know, the goal is Satan wants to kill him. I mean, God, the green part I'll go right now. I'm just covering all, but then I go. God doesn't want knowledge and immortality. For humans, with knowledge you become immortal. But again, Satan doesn't want this happen. You know, Satan doesn't want you to know about these things. And, you know, I would go, so a little bit, it was hardcore, so I'll go a little bit entertaining based on my age thing that I was going through. So how that happened, again, 28, 29, 30. So I had that, you know, the pattern that I went. First of all, yeah, I was in Joe Crusher business. I'm not going to tell you what I learned from there, because I had some, you know, installation, degree that helped me in machining. Machining means you shape, you know, shafts and all, because the whole thing was like this, you know, from top, right? The top was Joe Crusher. I mean, there is so inclined, you know, thing. The rocks, big rocks, goes inside this. It has this things that circles. And then Joe Crusher had some output from here that crushes this rock to the smaller part that they can use in asphalt and construction, right? So I had this experiment. Before that, I went to the university. After I went to Moshe Mefani at Tehran, then I had some experiment on AutoCAD Civil 3D that I told you. Then I went to MSTS courses. After MSTS courses, when I was working, you know, I knew this, but I was working on a data center of Iran insurance. To this point, we're working there too. When I was working in the data center insurance, I was learning about this Linux. And of course, Linux is for, you know, you can just go, you know, you can use Linux, Unix. These are OS. Because, you know, you need some type of security. Because Microsoft and Apple is just for public domain. This is for data center, because they're much more kind of fundamental OSs, you know, that you can work with servers to serve the data. So, but there is another thing happens in this layer that I was working in a data center that I need to channel it by red. Electrical engineering. So how this comes to my life? Again, we need to go here, close it, and again my face, and I need to go here, beautiful camera here. Then I need to go again here, you know, this one, make it available, and you're gonna see there, and I need to bring electrical engineering books. Very nice engineers in Iran, because as you see, you know, in UCLA, the top engineers, even for a while, was a Persian. And of course, I'm working in industry too, an Armenian. You know, honestly, I'm not into anything. I love you. I love people. Okay, here it is. I was studying. Of course, this is kind of a technician part, but I will go through this bit later. Hardcore internet, because you need to know text. It's a beautiful fundamental books for electrical engineering, and it's the best book. I mean, this is the best book. I mean, just check this book out. But before that, just check my notes. You know, just how beautiful my notes were, you know. Here it is. Okay, here it is. As you see, you want to, you know, some kind of, you have this, you know, locks, you have some relay. This is a map. You design with, of course, technicians work on already designed map, but all this designed by already by engineers. How much might be the radius of a wire, and what ampere should go? You know, it's you know, the other thing is you need to know the map. You can design a safety map, but at the end you need to always consult with engineer like me that knows more detail. So, oh my gosh, my chessboard got messed up because I will go later. As you see, here it is. We learned about the symbols, then we go learn about the electron, you know, these are just fundamentals. But the class that I went, I was learning, you know, with this kind of the wires, the triangle thing, and calculating the ohm. Then it comes to, you need to know differential equation to exactly calculate the electron movement through wires. That I was studying this, you know, Boltzmann, you know, the birth of a theory, you know, theory of the birth of a theorem by the Cedric Villani. Check his name. He's a mathematician. He got the prize of math. And how I'm getting through it, because the differential equation, you calculate the electron's behavior through a good optimized system. So I went to these classes, I have my notes, and I learned them, but okay, I showed you guys the installation, then, okay, I need to turn this off again. Okay, it's off. So we went through, you know, the pattern, my mind pattern that I went through. I went through this electrical engineering comes to my mind. And do you see all the system engine shapes? Because I have all this information from marketing, from politics, from mechanical engineering, from civil engineering, and from, you know, computer software engineering. And then I have a little bit electrical engineering, you know, electrical, not a little bit, I'm just injecting electrical engineering to my life. So everything goes to study. I mean, I will channel. So, here, again, 28, 29, 30. So, when I was in Iran Insurance, at almost the fall, you know, my mom said, your papers are ready. I was too, you know, I had a lot of, you know, I was working on, when it comes to Iran Insurance, of course, I have some software kind of, you know, platform that I was working, but there was hardware as well. Hardware, I mean, software, again, you have the whole, because data center, you know, just this is the room of data center, right? I'm just gonna shape it, you know, a little bit. You have servers, you know, there is different type of servers. You have coders, because coders, programmers, the server, you know, serves the data, but then you have data into the RAMs, right? Data through the code that coders write will serve to public through servers, right? But these data servers and programmers, of course, programmer means computer. Server data needs those racks, and these things needs what? They need UPS, uninterruptible power supply. Not you. Uninterruptible power, because you have central power processing, central power CPU, central power unit. Central CPU you have in computer, but the computers are here. You need to have good CPUs, but then the coders use the good CPUs on computers to the data goes through the computers. Then of course you platform a software into servers to clients. So you have server, you have clients, you have data, you have coders that creates the programs that inject the data through servers for clients. So, as an engineer that I'm getting familiar with the software and the hardware, what is going to happen here? The thing is, there is CPU, there is uninterruptible power supply. Uninterruptible power supply has what? Diesel engine. Amazing part. Diesel engine are include the router. It's a circle thing that circles. You know, when the power goes off, you have this engine here that kava. It's a kilowatt per kava. It's a kilowatt. How much watt engine this? This engine runs this transformers. Transformers. I think I cannot go because you have three-phase. Production of electricity is not. It's alternative. The production, it's all because you have AC and DC. You have direct current and alternative current. Alternative current because you use electromagnetic field to create three-phase. You create three-phase electricity, and then, of course, alternative power, it's good to transfer through wires. But then, here, the beautiful part that comes, to the mind, you have microelectric. Microelectric means you go microscopic level of circuits. But then you have, again, I think commercial and industrial. Commercial and industrial, maybe this is just one phase electricity, and this is a three-phase. Right, the bet. You use this three-phase electricity, and in data center business, you need to operate this, in your diesel engine properly when the to connect to UPS, because UPS it's just optimized current for data center, at least for maybe 48 hours, maybe 2 days, 1 day data center can work, and technicians with the power problem that happened, whatever the power problem was, you always run this, power cut off, you give all the people in the data center the security of having electricity without depending on the power supply that was cut or whatever happened. So here, the way that I want to, kind of channel things was, you have this type of different type of engineering involved, and then I was learning these things, and then UPS, I told you about that. Then you have this then you have temperature, that I come in temperature, in power. I mean, right now I want to include, I will be involved in data server and coding based on system engine artificial intelligence. that with anti-AI, you can optimize the systems through much efficiency because you have D-Wave computers, the new generation, and quantum computers. That's going to be revolutionize the industry, but you need to have a good processors, good CPUs, good programmers, good computers, good coders, and the server and data is going to be much secure and much efficient. My point was here the temperature, then you have the mechanic, then a different type of engineering field comes along. So, I think, should I cut this video to this point? Yeah, I'm gonna cut this, then we follow the rest. Hope you enjoy it so far. It's a lot of material. Maybe listen it many times, then we're gonna go through it later. Thank you so much. Bye.